On September 26, 2023, something serious happened in Burkina Faso. The transitional government announced that they had stopped an assassination attempt on their interim president, Captain Ibrahim Traoré. This was more than just a plan to kill a leader. It was a threat to the future, freedom, and dignity of the entire country. But something amazing happened. Instead of fear and silence, the people of Burkina Faso stood up. They filled the streets, raised their voices, and sent one clear message: we support Traoré. That show of unity and support changed everything. The background: a country in crisis. Burkina Faso is a landlocked country in West Africa. Over the past decade, it has faced a lot of problems: military coups, protests, and growing threats from extremist groups. The country also has a complex history with France, its former colonizer, which continues to influence its politics and economy. In 2022, Traoré came to power after removing the previous leader, Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba. Many people saw this not just as another military takeover, but as a fresh start. Damiba had failed to deliver on his promises to stop terrorism and violence in the country, leaving people disappointed and afraid. Who is Captain Ibrahim Traoré? Captain Ibrahim Traoré is a young military officer, just 34 years old when he took charge. He has no background in traditional politics, but he has something more important: a strong will to defend his people. He believes that Burkina Faso should not be controlled by foreign powers, and that its people deserve security, dignity, and self-rule. Traoré didn't rise through corruption or alliances. He became president because people believed in him. They were tired of politicians who said nice things but didn't deliver. Traoré represented something different: a younger generation ready to lead with courage and purpose, breaking away from France. One of the boldest moves Traoré made was ending military cooperation with France. French troops had been stationed in Burkina Faso, supposedly to fight terrorism. But many Burkinabe believed the French presence wasn't helping and might even be making things worse. Traoré decided to break all military ties with Paris. He wanted Burkina Faso to solve its own problems and stop depending on its former colonizer. He also started building relationships with other countries like Russia and Turkey. This made some Western powers uncomfortable, but for many Burkinabe, it felt like a step toward true independence. The assassination attempt. That's why the assassination attempt in September 2023 was so important. It showed how dangerous Traoré's path was, not just to his enemies inside Burkina Faso, but to powerful interests outside the country. Since becoming president, he has reportedly survived nearly 20 assassination attempts. The September plot, however, stood out because it failed so dramatically and sparked an enormous public reaction. People across Burkina Faso saw the attempt as an attack not just on a person, but on their hopes for a better future. The people respond. After the news broke, the streets of cities like Ouagadougou and Bobo-Dioulasso were filled with thousands of supporters. These weren't just planned political rallies. These were everyday people, students, farmers, business owners, standing together for their president. They carried pictures of Traoré, waved national flags, and held signs that read things like Burkina Libre, Free Burkina, and Je soutiens Traoré, I support Traoré. On social media, these hashtags went viral, not just in Burkina Faso, but across other French-speaking African countries. This wasn't just support for a person. It was a cry for sovereignty, for dignity, and for a Burkina Faso that belonged to its people. The youth movement, more than 65% of Burkina Faso's population, is under the age of 25. These young people have grown up during a time of crisis: war, economic collapse, and political instability. Traoré speaks directly to them. He has launched programs to rebuild schools, create jobs, and support local security forces. Young people now feel they have a role in shaping their country's future. Under Traoré's leadership, they are getting opportunities they never had before. This isn't just about politics, it's about identity, empowerment, and hope. Creating a new culture. Traoré is not just changing politics, he's changing culture too. His government promotes traditional African values, languages, and dress. Judges wear traditional clothing in courtrooms. School books are being rewritten to include local history and heroes like Thomas Sankara, instead of focusing only on colonial narratives. This cultural change is helping unite the country. People from different ethnic and religious backgrounds are starting to feel more connected as Burkinabe. It's a reminder that national pride doesn't have to come from outside. It can come from within. Forming a new alliance. In response to foreign pressure, Burkina Faso joined Mali and Niger to form the Alliance of Sahel States, a military and political pact to protect their shared interests. This alliance is a turning point in West African history. Instead of depending on foreign armies, these countries are now working together to secure their borders, share intelligence, and solve their own problems. This is African unity in action, something Sankara once dreamed of, and Traoré is now helping build. Critics and challenges. Of course, not everyone supports Traoré. Many Western media outlets accuse him of silencing the press, limiting opposition, and holding too much power. Human rights organizations have raised concerns about how journalists and activists are treated under his rule. But many Burkinabés see these criticisms as unfair. They say the same media ignored corruption and violence under previous governments. Now that Burkina Faso is taking a different path, those same outlets are suddenly interested. There are also concerns about new alliances. While Russia and Turkey offer an alternative to Western influence, they also have their own interests. Some fear that Burkina Faso might simply be trading one form of control for another. Still facing big problems. Burkina Faso still faces serious challenges, including an ongoing battle against jihadist groups, unsafe rural areas under frequent attack, widespread food insecurity and poverty, and economic struggles like inflation and inadequate healthcare. However, despite these hardships, many citizens feel a sense of hope because for the first time in years, they believe their government is genuinely committed to solving these problems and improving their lives. Why people still believe? Traoré is not perfect, his government has made mistakes, but what sets him apart is his connection with the people. He doesn't act like a king or dictator, he speaks plainly, he listens, and he believes in his country. One of his most famous quotes sums up his mission. "We are not fighting for a presidency. We are fighting for our people to live in dignity." This is why people follow him. Not because they think he's a superhero, but because he represents something they've been missing. Leadership that puts them first. A symbol for all of Africa. Captain Ibrahim Traoré is now more than just a president. He's become a symbol across Africa. He stands for a new kind of leader, one who is not afraid to say no to powerful outsiders, one who listens to his people, and one who believes in African unity and strength. The failed assassination attempt didn't weaken him, it strengthened him. It reminded the world that the people of Burkina Faso are awake, alert, and ready to defend their nation. The struggle continues. Burkina Faso's journey is still unfolding, with threats both internal and external. Yet, a powerful shift has occurred. The people are no longer silent. They are awake, engaged, and determined to shape their destiny. While President Ibrahim Traoré may not have all the solutions, he holds something crucial: the trust of his people. That trust, in a nation battered by hardship, is a force greater than any weapon. The failed assassination wasn't the end, it sparked a movement. Traoré now stands as more than a leader. He is a symbol of resistance, hope, and the unwavering spirit of a rising nation.